Hello good yo-yo people, I'm Nate and this is Let's Talk Yo-Yo. Today I am reviewing the Atra, or the Atra, I don't know. I think it's the Atra. Alright, this is by Reticulated Return Tops. This is my review of the Atra. Alright, the Atra. For those who are familiar with Reticulated Return Tops, you know that their yo-yos are named after snakes. For the most part, I think all their medals are named after snakes. And so this is the Atra. It's a little bit more subtle of a name. This is, I think, this is the Japanese name, or part of the Japanese name for rattlesnake. According to Wikipedia, it's the Chinese cobra. There you go. Also called Taiwan cobra, is a species of cobra in the family Elapidae. I don't care, I don't know. Found mostly in southern China and a couple of neighboring nations and islands. It is one of the most prevalent venomous snakes in China and Taiwan, which has caused many snake bite incidences to humans. All right, let's talk about the yo-yo. All right, let's talk about what it feels like in the hand. Now, the shape of this is a V-shaped yo-yo. That it's very clearly a V-shaped yo-yo. Let's take a closer look there. So yeah, opens up nice and wide, just like a V-shape does. You know, you have that that slight, you know, curvature a little bit there. And so it curves up on the gap there, so you can have a little bit of friction, or less friction, I'm sorry, less friction there, so that when you're doing something like horizontal, you're kind of taking off the plane, it's going to be a little less drag there. So that's nice. The rims are really rounded off, so even though it's a V-shaped yo-yo, it's very comfortable in the hand and going to be on a catch as well. Your hand wraps around it really nicely, so it's very much a kind of a great feature of what you see in a lot of organics. Whereas it's comfortable in the hand and it's rounded off and it's kind of beefy there on the rims, but it's V-shaped, it's opened up. The caps here, you're going to be able to, you know, these are sharp enough. I think you can matador with those. And the bowl is deep enough on there that you could probably lock your finger in to do some finger spins as well. And then there is a slight IRG there too, so you can kind of pop that up and do some thumb grinds on that. You can probably clip in there pretty easily. The surface on that is pretty nice as well. Nice matte finish. It's gonna be decent for grinds. The other thing I wanted to show you, that this is pretty smart. You don't see this a lot on yo-yos anymore, of them masking off the response area so that you get a little less you know, friction from the blast on your string, so you get less string you know, fraying and so on, and maybe even snapping on you over time. So that's just a nice little touch. And as you know, it's all in the details sometimes. Really nice standard pads there. I like these yellow pads. They look nice. I'm not sure who makes these ones, if it's theirs or where they get them from. Nice concave C-size bearing in there, of course. Pretty standard stuff as far as that's concerned. I think it's a pretty straightforward design. I don't think it's super risky. It's a beautiful design. There's a lot of great curves to it, a lot of really just aesthetically pleasing sort of features that aren't over the top, very approachable, where at the same time I think it's going to be able to hit a little bit of everything. The weight on it is a little bit I don't know, it's fairly rim weighted, but you also have kind of a little bit of more of a center weight here too with how the cup's designed. And so overall, it's going to kind of have a pretty controlling feel on the string, just kind of what you can tell from the looks of it, sort of a good pace. Enough of it in the hand section. Let's go ahead and actually play it and see how it plays on the string. All right, welcome back to the on the string section with the Atra by Reticulated Return Tops. You know, my last review from Reticulated Return Tops was the Berm, which is a more absurd, a little bit outside the box, quite a bit outside the box yo-yo. Huge, massive beast of a yo-yo. and it was pretty heavy in the specs, but didn't feel like it. This is right about in the middle as far as the weight on the specs, but it feels a little bit heavier than I think than it does on the specs. It's kind of unusual difference. Now, if I were to actually pick up the berm and play that for a little while and pick up this, you can see the drastic difference. But I don't think that's necessarily fair when just talking about and treating this yo-yo as is. And so overall in the hand, or on the string, I'm sorry, it feels like it just kind of has a steady pace to it. It's not too heavy, but it's definitely not light either. And I feel like you can kind of just know where it's going. It's a little bit steady. I think you could push this yo-yo if you needed to. But overall, I feel like it's just kind of a nice steady pace yo-yo. It has that sort of like everyday carry kind of feel to it, not uber competition driven or competition focused, even though it is a V shape, so it's going to be opening up really nice. Let's go ahead and check how that gap works for string wraps. But man, really nice gap for string. For string wraps, you can get quite a few. The gap's really nice for that. If it's nice and flared out, so even for horizontal and things like that, you know, it's going to be really great for keeping the plane. Horizontal is really nice on this yo-yo. You get a little bit less friction, like I talked about in the hand section, where it's kind of opened up just a little bit, enough that it's not just like a straight V. It kind of curves up just slightly on the gap there, so you have a little bit of a window of less friction there. I have a tree above me, but it's really easy to hit that gap. Regens aren't too bad, you know, for a V-shaped yo-yo. It's a little wobbly, but I think that's just the shape of it. Thumb grinds are really easy to do as well. Let's go ahead and see if we can pull start with that. You know what? I wish it was a little bit sharper. I can grab it probably, but it's just not as sharp as I'd like it if you were kind of making it so that it was going to be geared towards matadoring or finger spins with that. Yeah, I can start it there. I can do a pull start on it, but it's not, again, not as sharp as I'd like it. I think that would be just maybe a little bit larger, maybe a little sharper, if that's what you're going for. Again, I don't think that's necessarily a drawback, because I don't really do a lot of those kind of tricks anyways, but I think that's kind of a cool thing to have. Finger spins are really decent as well. I can lock it in there. Yeah, it kind of just wobbles around that bowl there. Let's see. That blast. Yeah, it's really nice for finger spin or finger grinds, if I can use the right words and terminology here. Let's see, rejections. All right. Overall, I'm really pleased with the feel in the string. It's got a lot of things going for it. It's a beautiful design, very simple, straightforward. It has that nice sort of balance with that V shape, comfortable in the hand, comfortable in the catch, really comfortable in the catch. But it has a little bit of those little features that are going to make sort of more competition sort of tricks available for you, like horizontal and things like that. It's a really nice gap on this yo-yo as well. So overall, I really, really like it. I'm very pleased with the Atra. I think it's a great addition to their current catalog, and something that is going to appeal to a lot of people because it's pretty versatile as far as a yo-yo is concerned. All right, let's go ahead and throw a trick, and then we'll call it a day. All right, as I said, the Atra kind of just hits pretty much everything you're wanting. The only like The only con I would see is I wish those spikes were just a little bit sharper, so that if you were kind of going for something that was meant to be Matador or pull start, be a little bit easier if they were a little bit sharper, a little bit longer. Overall, I like the features, just the little details of things like, you know, masking off the gap here, so that you have a lot less you know, fraying string going on, things like that. The blast isn't super aggressive. I don't think they'd really have a major problem with that, but it looks kind of nice too with that glossy look as well. But that does add just a little extra features, and I think overall the aesthetics of this yo-yo are absolutely beautiful. It's a really great player. I think it has a really great comfort in the hand on a catch that you get in organics, but again, it has that V shape, so that it's got a lot of things going for it. And I think the Atra is definitely a great addition to their current lineup. All right, that's gonna do it for my review of the Atra by Reticulated Return Tops. And as usual, good day and good yo-yo.